I'm gonna make a video right now at midnight 17. One thing that's pretty notable about my life, I think just generally, is that I have not seen a lot of movies. I love movies. The movies that I have seen I really enjoy, and I like complex plots. I like a lot of things about movies. I like a lot of things about storytelling in general. There are always movies that people will bring to me and they'll be like, oh my god, you haven't seen, huh? And so people will watch movies with me. That's pretty normal, I feel like. The most recent I've seen is Sense and Sensibility. Watched it a couple nights ago. What I'm going to try and do here is I'm going to explain everything I remember about it. What I've got here is a Photoshop window. I will use images to explain the story. Hello, it's Editing Colin here, like a week later. Pretty much immediately after finishing recording this video, I came down with a fever and was sick. And you can hear in my voice I start to get more nasally congested as the video goes on. That is because I am literally getting sicker. I'm still currently sick, so yeah, just wanted to point that out there for the keen ear of y'all. Movie starts out. Oh fuck! I actually have to find characters. Hold on. Shit, this is about to get really dumb. There's 3 different girls. Mom's stuck. It's all pictures of women with soccer balls. Yeah, you're perfect. And this is gonna be very briefly in here because he's like barely in the fucking movie. I don't even remember his name. That's how much he's in the movie. He talks though, apparently. I just missed all that. Man, dad stock. This is gonna take a fucking hour. So the movie opens and it's this guy, the dad, he's dying. And he's talking to the son and he's like, yo, you get the whole land. You get all of it. And he's like, lit. And then he's like, but we're gonna give your stepsisters an income of 500 pounds a year. That's not enough. I can't give them any more because that's how my will is. You have to help them. And he's like, yes, I'm gonna help them. And he's crying. And then this guy dies. So goodbye. Just the wife. Okay, actually, this is perfect. This woman looks mad, and I don't like the character that she is. So then there's this lady is his wife. She's like, blah blah blah. They'll be fine on $500. I want to give them 2,000 pounds. No, they'll be fine. Okay, 1,500. And she's like, no, they'll be fine. They don't even have land. They don't need servants or fucking whatever. And so he's like, okay, fine, 500. So then this guy with no spine, no backbone is like, okay, I guess fuck my family. And his wife is like, yeah, fuck your family. They suck or whatever. This guy, that's it. The only point in the movie where he matters is the beginning. He's gone for the rest of the movie. No backbone. He's not a functional character. It doesn't matter. Well, okay, hold on, come back. I need him back for a second. These 3, the mom, the stepmom, and the 3 stepdaughters. I just made her wide. I didn't mean to do that. They live on the land that this guy just inherited. These 2 are gonna move into the land, and there's like there's a big ass fucking house, and then this woman is like, yeah, y'all got you get the fuck out. And then they're like, okay, I guess we'll get out. This one's like gone for like the whole beginning of the movie, the youngest, so I'll just put her down here. She's like hiding under a table. Where's the key to the spoon cabinet, the silver spoon cabinet? I want to count how much silver spoon you have. The best I got? That's it? Okay. So then the brother, Edward, he rolls up and he's like really awkward or whatever, and he's like, blah blah, how do you do? And then he finds this one and he starts like playing with her or whatever, but not like in a weird way. He like finds her under a table and he's like, oh, is that a map? And then she's like, yeah, that's a map. And then they start sword fighting, and she fucking stabs him. She stabs him. So the oldest sister and the brother of this wench end up like talking or whatever, and they're like, ooh la la. He's a very good listener, you can tell. 2 months go by, they fall in love, maybe. Then he has to go to London, so he's just out the picture for now. And she's like sad, and then this one's like, okay, expedite the process, get the fuck out of my house. And then they're like, okay. They go live with some large woman who's loud and obnoxious and hilarious. So she's like round, she's got curly hair, and sure, oh, do you have a love interest? And she's like, no. And then the youngest is like, yes you do. And then they're all like, shut the fuck up. And then she's like, oh, Whoa. That's like the whole fucking scene. They have dogs too. That's about it. That's all that matters there. Let's move these guys off to the side. Well, actually, he can just go now. He has no function after that. He has no backbone. He's worthless. So they move to that place, and there's this dude named Colonel Brandon, who is played by none other than fuck, what's his name? I can't remember his actual name. Played by none other than Severus Snape. He walks in while this one's playing piano, because she does that, I guess. And he's like, they're like chatting it up or whatever. And then, oh, god damn it. I actually need the big boisterous woman again. Here, this is her. Ooh, I dare say, you both like music, huh? And they both get embarrassed and never talk for like most of the rest of the movie. He's just around. He kind of is just there sometimes. The mom doesn't do too much. So these are non-functional characters here on the side, because this one's like comic relief almost. And then this one's the mom. She didn't do anything. So then it's just the older sister and the middle sister that are relevant. This one is out with this one, and this one's like talking about some shit. So they're like, let's go for a walk. And then there's this motif they've got where the middle sister is like, let's go for a walk, and someone's like, it looks like it'll rain, and then she's like, it's not gonna rain, and then they say, you always say that, and then it always does. And that happens twice in the movie. It like exactly. So she goes out with the sister, and there's this whole scene where they're on a hill. So there's the hill, and then the middle is like, come on, let's run to the coast. And the younger one is like, I don't know about that, dog. And she's like, run fast. She runs fast and slips and tumbles down the hill in the wet, and she fucks up her ankle. And then she's like, are you okay? And she's like, run for help. She starts running up the hill. Horseman. I should have been more careful with my phrasing. This is my fault. This is the burden I carry. So, guy on a horseman. He's like, oh my god, is your ankle okay? Are you good? And then she's like, my ankle busted. Can I check your ankle? And she's like, I guess. And there's like this 30-second scene where he's like checking her ankle, but it's like all foot and sock, and he's like just like moving the thing, and he's like, it's not broken. He loads her up on his horse, which I guess is just him in this retelling. And so they go back to the house. A little girl runs in, and she's like, what's her name? Marianne busted her ankle up, but it's cool. Here's a guy. They roll up, and he's like carrying her like wedding style, and she's like, I'm fine, and puts her down on the couch. And then he's like, I will be back tomorrow, and then he leaves. What is his name? It doesn't matter. He's an asshole. It doesn't matter. And so then they're like, oh my fucking god, like all of them are just like in a cluster, just like, that's my man. Next day, this guy comes up, and she's like on the couch just chilling with her Shakespeare book, and he's like, oh, I love Shakespeare. Oh yeah. There's another dude who lives in that house, and he's like, oh no, what have I done? He's like, oh, you've already forgotten about Colonel Brandon, I see. Haha. Well, whatever. And then Colonel Brandon rolls up, and he goes, no, let's leave. I can tell when we're not wanted. And so he leaves to go hunt with Colonel Brandon while they go fucking make out or whatever. So there's a lot of stuff being set up here. So this is like approaching halfway through the movie. They start really hanging out all the time. Colonel Brandon just kind of watches. He's very quiet. He's a very chill dude. Oldest sister is still upset about Mr. Edward, but he's like gone. And they go off to a party at Brandon's estate. Mr. Balls is invited, but this guy has to run to London. And so, why the fuck everybody disappears to London? So this guy's gone. He leaves his own house full of people to go to London. Was urgent, I guess. So they're all at the house. There's this other gal, royalty-free woman images. It's very low res. That's probably ideal. So there's this other woman, and she's like, I've heard so much from Edward about you. And she's like, oh, do tell. And then there's this scene where she's like, Edward and I have been secretly engaged for 5 months. And there's like some semi-romantic stuff that happened, but like not implicitly. So, but it was just like awkward. And then this bitch, it's not like our oldest is gonna be like, well, that's crazy, I was fucking him the whole time. She's like awkward too, because like half the characters in this movie have social anxiety. I love this man, he loves me, and she's like, fuck my whole existence, I guess. Soul crushing experience for her. She is the only person who knows too, so that's fucked. This guy with this girl is like, we gotta talk tomorrow, like we gotta talk, and the insinuation is like, we're gonna get married. Everyone leaves so they can talk, and they come back. This dude's in one room, she's in the other room crying, and he's like all like, what? And so he's like, I have to go to London. So he goes to London too. All fucking 3 of our dudes go to London. They're all gone. And so she's busted fucked up. And youngest sister's just chilling. This lady comes up and she's like, well, dare I fucking say, we're gonna arrange a trip to London so you can see your man, and you can come with, I don't know, so we can see the shit. You can see your man. And then they're all just like, bet. Like collectively they go, bet. And so they go to London, and all 3 of these fucking dudes are in London. The first thing that happens is like, this girl is like constantly sending this dude letters, like all the time. Like she's just every fucking day sending this guy a note, and he's not responding to him. She sent like 1 million of them. Severus Snape, Colonel Brandon rolls up. Well, he's here to talk to her, the middle, and he's like, blah. And then she's like, I don't want to talk to you. She leaves the room, and she's left with this gal. So she's like, are they still dating? They didn't like officially break it off, but like she's not sure. And so he's like, okay. And then he leaves. There is a party that they go to. I have to think, what the fuck happens after this? It gets really weird after this. So, so this lady that they're staying with also has a daughter. Her daughter is fucking Hugh Laurie. He does not have much to say. It's pretty much whenever she speaks on anything, he's like, blah, 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 we'll plant trees. And he's like, no, you won't. They're side characters, doesn't matter. They're at the party too. So what ends up happening is this one's there, and she's like, my brother is here. And these two, which are both in love with him, are like, oh my fucking god. And it turns out that there is another brother. So there's this guy, and then let's just fucking color his hair a different color. Fine. So it's a brother. That's how you know. He's literally supposed to be the shittier kid brother. So this is the brother that's at the party. This one's not at the party. And so she's like, let me introduce you to my brother. And there's a scene where they turn him around, and it's actually this brother, and both of them are just like, oh. And so then she's like, oh, I'll dance with him. And I'm like, I guess I'll dance with him. And he's like, I would be delighted. And so they dance. It's like one of those big ballroom dances where there's like 1 million fucking people in the room, and they're all like switching partners. And she ends the dance with him, with whatever the fuck. And she's like, hi. And he's like, hello, like nervous. And then across the room, she spots him, and she fucking yells his name. And everyone goes silent. She goes up to him, and she's like, oh fuck. No, she's tilted. Why haven't you responded to my messages? He's like, I don't know. I gotta see ya. And he leaves. Turns out he's got another gal. He's standing with her, and she walks in with the older sister, and everyone in the room like turns around, and they're like, ew. What the hell? She was yelling his name. Do you know them? And he's like, friends from the country. And then she's like, oh, well, he's not there. I can see they're wearing their country clothes, because she's like loaded. She's like blasted. She looks like she's got hella cash. This girl's devastated. They have to usher her out of the party because she's about to faint. So they end up dancing. Sorry, we're going to take middle kid home. And then she's like, well, I can escort you home. And then she's like, okay. So then yeah, whatever. He's a fucking bitch. I don't think he shows up for the rest of the movie, though. What ends up happening, she's at home, she hella crying, and now everybody knows about their shit plus the rich gal. So what happened, Mr. Colonel Brandon comes to the oldest, and he's like, and then so pretty much He was involved with a gal 20 years earlier, and he wasn't allowed to marry her, and so he loses touch with her and comes back from the army, and she's like dying, but she had a kid, and so that kid is pretty much his kid, like his daughter-ish, and he's been taking care of the daughter. She went missing for 8 months, and she rolls back up, and she's got a kid, and the person that they found her with was this fucking guy, and he dipped after she got pregnant. What the fuck? She's like, oh my god. So now that's the information that she's got. There's this whole scene after that where the bitch woman and the gal who's like secretly been dating Mr. Edward are in a room together, and she's getting close to the family, and she keeps rolling to this girl, and she's like, oh my god, I met his mom, oh my god, they're inviting me into the family, blah 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 blah. And so she's like talking with the sister, and she's like, I am so really want to meet a guy. She's like, you'll meet a guy, you have things to make up for your lack of money. And she's like, I have something to tell you. And so she whispers in, and she tells her that she's in love with her brother. I just found out I wasn't recording video, I guess. That's the thing. So she beats the shit out of this gal and is like, fuck no. Edward gets ostracized from the family, and that's like the shit. But they're still gonna get married, I guess. She wants to consummate he wants to consummate the relationship or whatever. Sad, still sad. Youngest is just chilling. Mom is just also there. So yeah. But so that's like the information, is that this gal is marrying this guy, is marrying one of the brothers. That's what they keep saying is the false Farrar guy. And so then he comes to her and is like, I'm so sorry, I should have told. And he's like, no, actually Colonel Brandon said you can get married in his monastery. And then he's like, oh damn, okay. So whatever. They go back to their house, and while they're there, she goes back up on a hill and is like, I'm gonna take a walk. And they're like, it looks like it's about to rain. And she goes, it's okay, it won't rain. And they go, you always say that, and then it always does. She goes on a walk, it's raining, she's up on a hill, she's looking at this guy's like property and just sobbing in the rain, and she collapses. This guy finds her, she's like cold as fuck. They get her in, she's busted cold. She gets like deathly ill. He's worried, super worried. They get a doctor. Dr. Dilf is in town. She had like a deadly fever for a night. She's like, and then that's like the shit. She's pretty much sick from a broken heart or whatever. That's like the motif. She gets better. They were all really close to her. They go grab this gal from London or whatever, so she can be there in case something happens. But when she gets there, she's made a full recovery. This is the part of the movie where everything moves really fast. So we are at the 2-hour mark about, and there is all this drama set up, and there's only about 10 minutes left in the movie. So you know, by the graph of how the story is going, it is just going to be a fucking slippery ride straight down from the rest of the movie. So this is the last 10 minutes of the movie. She makes a recovery. He sits with her and reads her Shakespeare. That is the most of a conversation they've had, pretty much. They all go back home. Oh, also, Snape gives her a pianoforte, I guess. My man rolls up. This is Edward. He rolls up and he's like, I want to talk to you guys. And so he talks to the family. He's like, I hope you're doing well or whatever. And then they're all like, how is your wife? And then he's like, oh, have you not heard? And they're like, no, I haven't. I'm actually not married. She got married to my brother and like did the switcheroo last second. I'm actually single. She busts out crying. They all leave the room. He's like, I've loved you for many moons or whatever. And then they get married. That's the end of the movie. That's just it. So you have this huge setup. And then you get way too close to the end of the movie, and then they're like, "Ah, fuck, we can't have this much screen time. Fuck it, go!" And so they fucking gas it to the end of the story and rush like everything. So the final scene, not only are they getting married, I guess, these two are also getting married. But they have, like, there is no development on their relationship at all. Like, at all. Literally at all. It's just, oh, well, he cares about her and he was worried about her when she was sick. That's nothing. That's nothing. That's nothing. Like, this one I get a little bit because they spent, like, 2 months together or whatever. But, like, even still, what the fuck happened? I was, like, in it too. I was pretty deeply rooted in this story, and then what ends up happening is it just keeps going, and I'm like, where is this going? And then all of a sudden the movie's like over. They're getting married. The scene is these two get married. These two get married at the same time. I think these two do too. And then this woman's like picking up coins off the ground. That's the whole movie. That's just what happens in this movie. The wild part, this girl in the movie, she's like 18. This one's like 16. This man is 40 something. This guy is probably in his 30s. Whoa, pump the brakes there, dude. Whoa. It's like, well, we're gonna die in probably 10 years anyway. Might as well get married. Fuck. Me explaining it sounds like I'm rambling. That's just the plot of the movie. That's the plot of the movie. Ending scene, he rolls up on a horse and he looks sad for a second and then he rides away. That's how the movie ends. If this ends up being funny, hey, cool. Drop a like, do something, watch it again. I don't know. Leave a comment. Tell me your favorite part of the story. Tell me what you like the most.